Hey, it is your girl Sierra Shanae, speaker brand strategist, and I absolutely love to teach speakers with service-based businesses how to leverage their voices so they can stop hustling for clients. And we are here for another episode of Voice of Clients TV. Super excited to be able to talk about the topic in particular about New Year, New Speech. Okay, that's a theme I like to do in January. New year, new speech. Everybody's doing new things, right, in January. But a lot of us, we don't realize that there needs to be a newness to our speeches, right? If your speech, your signature speech is not structured to sell for you, then it's definitely time for you to do a new thing. And I want to be able to help you actually figure out how to do that. Many of you are just speaking, right, with no real structure or trying to figure out a structure, but it's not converting, right? It's not really showing the results that you want to yield. And so I want you to not just be speaking for speaking's sake or just to share your story, but to set it up for the sale. Okay. And so we can literally structure our speeches in a way where it does the selling for us. I also believe that stories sell, but your speech can sell. Okay, and your stories are a smaller component of a bigger and grander thing, which we love to call your signature speech. And so today's topic is about New Year, new speech. And I know we don't have all day to talk about your New Year's resolutions and all of the other changes and modifications that you have decided to make in your life or in your business because it's a brand new year. But I want us to talk about your speech, okay? So first, we're going to dive on into three major reasons why you want to structure your speech to sell. All right, you with me? Still with me, Jesse, Shannon? You still with me? All right, let me just make sure I can see my comments here. Angel, you still with me? All right. You guys excited? All right, awesome. And so first, it's really important to just highlight how I haven't been on TikTok in a while, but I remember when I first rolled out this speech this challenge years ago. I want to say it had to be like 2020, like pandemic was the first time I ever began to do a challenge. And it's the same name. I thought I was going to rename it at one point because in August we did revamp it and make it better, okay, and allowing you guys to get bigger and greater results and wins, right? But it's still the Sketch Your Signature Speech Challenge. But when I first rolled it out, the intent of it was, hey, there's so many people who don't know how to structure their speech at all. Like they are just going on stages, sharing their stories and thinking that they're actually delivering a speech and they're not. They don't even know how to go from point A to point B to point C. They don't know how to open. They don't know how to close. They don't know how to transition. They don't know how to seed their offers. They don't know how to do any of these things that comes naturally to me, right? I've been able to study some of the greatest speakers of all time and even touch and communicate with some of them. In my book, Don't Muzzle Your Message, I talk about Tiffany Alecci, who is the budgetnista who's taken off. She's literally from New Jersey, and I've been able to be in her rooms, of course, purchase her books, being her Facebook groups, involved in her challenges. But most of all, I was able to see her speak on a stage. And I never forget her causing me to be interested in a topic that typically does not interest me. And that's anything that has to do with math. Okay. I have been delivered. Okay. God has been delivering me from math anxiety, but usually anything with numbers, math has just never been my favorite subject. I have always loved language arts, English, and things of that nature. And then when I went into college, it was communications. I began to form a love for that and psychology, of course, right? Business management and entrepreneurship and things of that nature. But I never really cared about anything as it pertained to numbers. And I have a speech about it on my YouTube channel where I talk about poverty is not your purpose. And I share this not so not so much of a love for math, right? But Tiffany, she had an amazing way of captivating me and pulling me in, and especially my heartstrings, because I knew that I wanted more, and I wanted more abundance in my life. And so that is like, that was a game changing moment for me. And I actually was bold enough to reach out to her. And at the time, she literally gave me her phone number and was willing to talk to me and everything, gave me tips of what I could do as a speaker. And I never forgot that moment, ever, 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 ever. And it changed the way I began to show up as a speaker myself. And so I'm telling you firsthand, sorry, the DMs are coming in, but I'm telling you firsthand that I have witnessed uh, the power of captivating an audience. I've been in the audience and I've experienced it, but then I also was able to study other speakers outside of myself, and I just have a way of pulling out systems. Like I can just see a thing, okay, boom, 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 and I'll create a process. And so I began to create a process that was easy for me to see by the gifts and grace of God, right? And others just overlook it and they don't know exactly how to structure their speech, right? So at first it was just, hey, let's just give you this TikTok that I mentioned. I talked about, hey, there's nothing wrong with your speech. It's just missing these three things. And so I talked about how it's missing structure, it's missing strategy, and it's missing systems. And that still stands true today, right? So first of all, we want to cause for your signature speech to be structured in a way that is orderly, where people can follow you from beginning to end, right? But then we also want to infuse a strategy. A lot of us are just speaking on stages, last minute, not preparing, winging it, speaking from the heart, so we say, right? And then there's no real strategy behind it. And you want to have a game plan. You want to have what you're going to do and how. And then there's no systems attached to it, which we will talk about a little bit more too, which is why you're just getting hand claps and compliments and no clients. And so you might even be getting compensation if you're not getting gift baskets for your speaking opportunities. I know you're like, girl, that sounds like a lot of shade, but it's not shade. It's a reality for a lot of us speakers that we're getting gift baskets, gift cards with written notes in it, and no real compensation. But the speakers that I work with, my speaker clients, the goal is for you to have the floor, right? The bare minimum be 4 figures. If anything, we might go to a high 3 figures, depending on where your confidence level is. But we want to get you compensated. So let me start with my first point, right? If you structure your signature speech to sell, that structure leads to compensation in clients. Okay, that is the structure alone, the organization alone, the orderliness, the flow of your speech alone can cause you to be seen as the specialist of your message, and they can take you more seriously, and they can look at you as more of a professional speaker than how you may be currently perceived. Just trying to be real, right? If you're like, hey, I'm trying to get compensated more I want more paid stages. I've gotten paid here and there, sprinkle this, sprinkle that. But how can I get more compensation consistently? It might be something that it pertains to your professionalism, right? And it's not that you're not professional. There's no stab at you, but it's the perceived value of your professionalism. Again, a brand is always about how others are perceiving you. You may think that you're putting your best foot forward, but you may be losing the audience because you're not organized, or because of your booking process is not prepared, or whatever it is that may make you perceived as less professional than you want to be perceived as, right? And so we can start with the structure of your speech, and then with them perceiving a higher and greater value of professionalism, they can trust to compensate you, and clients can trust to invest in you. You following me so far? I hope you are still following me. I hope you are still here. So then my second point is what I was talking about a little bit when it comes to, because that was about structure, what we just talked about now. But then my second point talks a little bit about these systems. Okay. And before you can implement a system, you have to have a strategy, right? This strategy then can allow you to know what systems and what steps and what processes to put in place. Okay. But second point is you want to implement and incorporate a speech funnel. Okay. So you can continue to connect and build rapport with these leads that you generate. Okay. Because my clients and those who go through the Sketch Your Signature Speech Challenge, and of course, those who've gone through Domination Speech, the Accelerator, which is the only place we used to teach the speech funnel, to be honest. We did it publicly or outside of our Voice of Clients campus or the Accelerator, right? We did not always teach speech funnels to those who weren't direct clients. But now, because I said we had to revamp the Sketch Your Signature Speech Challenge in a way that it would light me up, because I wanted to make sure that I was giving people more than fluff. I wanted you to actually get wins and make some money. Okay, make some money, honey. I wanted you to be able to do that. And so now we're sharing this, because if you could come back like, hey, Sierra, I just went through the challenge. And with the challenge alone, I'm not only getting compensation, but I'm also getting clients. Then how much more when you join our brand coaching membership and you get to meet with me 1 to 3 times a month, right? Depending on which tier you are part of in the Voice of Clients campus. You following me? And if you're a part of the Accelerator, that's even more than 3 times a month. That's even more than 3 times a month, depending on what time of the year it is, right? And so that's really, really important that you have a speech funnel. How is it that you're going to invite people into your world, right? How are you going to get them into your CRM? How is it that you're going to follow up with them and stay connected, right? So that you don't go from meet to delete. Many of us go from meet to delete. People meet you at our speaking opportunities and then they delete you from their memory because they haven't heard from you in a while. You didn't remain relevant. You didn't remain visible. And they're like, they may even have a vague recollection of who you are. But they're like, what was her name again? Who was that girl? She was so good, but I want to work with her. I know she had what I needed, but I can't remember. I can't put my finger on who she is, right? But with the speech funnel, it not only gets them into your ecosystem or into your business sphere, right? But we also later in the Voice of Clients campus like to teach you how to continue to build that rapport so that you can convert them into an actual client, from a lead and a prospect to a client, okay? So that's very important. You need to have a system that pretty much is a speech funnel so that you can continue to build rapport, because everyone is not ready to sign on immediately. That's something that I have understood. We are structuring your speech to sell, but we are not necessarily teaching you how to sell from the stage like many people do. They sell high ticket from the stage to only those who are ready. And that can be a very small percentage when people are meeting you for the very first time. You can look up the statistics. It is very rare. Grant Cardone says only 2% of people who met you the first time sign up for anything on a sales call. And so if that is he's pretty big and pretty high in sales in the nation, right? But if you're going to go off of what he said, then it's just human wiring, right? It's just us as human beings. It just sometimes takes us a few moments, a few touches in order to make decisions and big commitments like that, right? And so instead of speaking to sell and only getting some of the people in the audience, we want you to have your speech infused with a lead magnet of some sort, and that's what we're teaching. I'm probably going ahead of myself, but with a lead magnet that gets them into your speech funnel so that you can stay in touch with them, whether they're ready today or 3 months from now. Okay, so that's really important. The third thing that I want to share with you is that we want to have a strategy that causes people to take action. Okay, we don't want to just inspire or motivate them, but we want to empower audiences to take action so that they take advantage by either taking the next step, whether it's your lead magnet or actually making an investment. Now, we can do what I like to call entry-level offers, right? So it's not the big shebang. It's not your overall signature offer, but it could be something as simple as a digital product or like anything that's anywhere from $10 2-figures to 3-figure investment, right? It could be your book. This is something that I love to talk about. If we are going to sell from the stage, we're going to sell our physical book. We're going to sell our digital ebook, right? We're going to sell something that's $27, an easy no-brainer. Oh yes, sign me up. I just met you, but I'm not really committing to to a mortgage with you, right? It's not a year-long membership. It's literally just the book, right? Something that's super easy. Even if some people were doing consultations from anywhere from 50 to 150, right? Different things like that. It's easy. Okay, your speech alone was enough for me to be ready to invest that much. I'll never forget going inside of a group coaching program. And inside of that group coaching program, it was also around the holidays. So I decided to do a massive discount on my speaker strategy sessions, right? So my speaker strategy sessions to date are $9.97. At the time, I think they were $4.97. And for campus members, it's still $4.97. But for non-members, it's $9.97 for that session where we clarify your specialties, your ideal client, your framework, and all those things, right? We do the first step of the framework called standing your specialty. Really, really important, okay? But I did this speaker strategy session for only $150. So I went inside of this group coaching program where people were paying to be in that space. So people paying to be at a conference, right? That also is something to think about. How much did they invest in this room to be in this room? And then what can I offer? Right. So they were investing at least 4 figures to be in that group coaching program. So I pitched only 3 figures for a newbie, but I also knew that I was coming in hot and highly recommended as technically a referral, because the person who brought me in knew me well and also introduced me in a way that was personal and let them know that they also trusted me before their people. And so that established me as a trustworthy expert, as a specialist of my message. And did I kill it? Now, if I was to do the trainings that I did years ago, I am definitely a more evolved version of Sierra Shanae, right? But I did it and I killed it at that stage in my life. And I was able to, I think I booked a few of them, a few of her, and they had met me for the first time and they signed on. And so that is important, right? That is super duper important. I've learned other skills since then where I could have ran away with more information from other people in the room. I did circle back because, of course, I knew that then too. Like, okay, let me find their names, let me screenshot, let me slide into their DMs. But I could have done something more, I don't want to say discreet, but more eloquent. Like I have new systems in place where I could have collected everybody's contact information that was in the room without having to search them on social media. Okay. So again, that goes back to me having new strategy, new systems, new processes and ways that I do things. Okay. But we want them to take action, whether it's the next step of the lead magnet, right? Because that's what you want them to do next. That's the next step in their client journey, or if they're actually making a entry-level investment. Okay. Entry-level offer, they take advantage of that. And so this is really, really important. There's so much more that I can teach you all at the Sketch Your Signature Speech Challenge. But let me share. I'm going to share my screen with you all so that you guys can see. So it is going down February 17th to the 21st at 1 p.m. Sorry, again, 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let me share my screen. All right, that is literally just a little bit more than 2 weeks away. We want you to invite your speaker brand besties, all right, to join you, to hold you accountable. You need to be in the lounge, which you all are, right? Your brand bestie will need to be in the lounge because that's where a lot of our assignments are going to be. Of course, there's things that's going to hit your inbox that if you're not registered, you won't have access to. If you do not register, you won't get access to our workbook that's going to be accompanied with this. But there are some prompts, which I like to call our daily power moves, that will be posted inside of the Voice to Clients lounge. So you're going to want to make sure that you're engaging in the lounge inbox and that you're also showing up on Zoom. All right. So we're going to be doing it right here on Zoom so that we can interact with each other. And so I've done it in the past when it was just StreamYard or I just went live. And I'm an extrovert. I like to interact with my people, especially if you decide to be VIP. So I'm going to make sure that I'm answering the questions of VIP first and engaging with you all in the comments here in the Zoom room. All right. So you're going to want to do that. The Sketch Your Signature Speech Challenge, of course, is learning. You're going to learn how to structure your speech to sell. And it's time to reposition your speaker brand to call in more paid stages and ideal clients. All right. Are you ready to stop settling for less in your speaking career? Are you tired of walking away from speaking engagements with nothing more than hand claps and compliments? You are leaving money on the table, all right? How would you feel if your signature speech got you 4 figures in cash and new client enrollments? Imagine having a signature speech that positions you as a sought-after speaker, calling in paid speaking opportunities, speaking engagements, and ideal clients left and right. Speaker fam, this is exactly why I created the 5-day Sketch Your Signature Speech Challenge for speakers just like you with service-based businesses who are ready to step into a place where your voice not only connects but converts. As you know, I am Sierra Shanae, and I teach speakers with service-based businesses how to go from free to 4 figures, right? I teach you how to leverage your voice so you can stop hustling for clients, but I know what it's like to not be compensated well. And then I know what it's like to get compensated 4 figures. Okay. And you deserve to be paid to speak and paid on the back end through selling your services to clients. So join me in the challenge to equip you to become a sought after and compensated for your specialty. Again, it's going down February 17th to the 21st at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to start with some shifts and some breakthrough with day 1 of embracing your unique sound. Then we're going to dive on in day 2 with identifying your core message. That's so important. Then we're going to do day 3, creating your speech outline. Then we're going to design your speech funnel that I mentioned to you. And then you're going to know how to package and price so that you can sell your signature speech. All right. And we have Shaquana who says that the Sketch Your Signature Speech Challenge is absolutely amazing. I was truly launched into my destiny with this challenge. After this challenge, I feel that I am ready and encouraged to share my full story. I am pushing past and pushing through what God has called me to do. Thank you so much, Sierra Shanae. You're welcome, Shaquana. I love her. And that's a nice little cute little video of me. And then there's Evie. This purpose-filled challenge has helped me recognize my pain has birthed my purpose. Come on. I always say that purpose recycles your pain. She also continues to say, I've experienced in just a few days that my life isn't just about being seen, but truly about being heard with a unique sound. Each challenge or power move, right, had daily shifted her mindset and built her confidence with assurance to never give up no matter what level she's presently in. So she says that she just needs to start and keep going. All right. Evie is so pretty, isn't she? So that, as I mentioned to you, there's 2 ways that you can join the Sketch Your Signature Speech Challenge. You can literally have the live access pass, which gives you access to the challenge for 5 days live. And you get the digital Sketch Your Signature Speech workbook. When you get the Power Move pass, which is pretty much VIP, you get that and personalized feedback on your speech. You get 7-day pass to session replays unless you're a campus member. You get unlimited access to replays as long as you are a member. You also get a bonus of our specialized speaker worksheets because that serves as the pre-work to clarify your message and draft your speech concepts. And then we're going to do a bonus of allowing you to participate in the Secure More Stages Masterclass, which is typically $97, or you have to be a member of the Voice of Clients Campus to participate. And the reason being is because we want you to get moving, right? And if you have any blockages or any challenges with even Secure More Stages, we want to move that out the way. what good is it for you to sketch an entire speech and not go out there and secure stages and not actually hit stages and see the speech sell for you? And that's what was happening in the past. So I'm always the one, and that could be my background in psychology, right? I pay attention and I do the research and I'm like, okay, how can we continue to improve what we're doing to get our clients or potential clients more results? And so this is why we've included all of these things. There's been a time where our challenge did not include the workbook at registration, but now you do at least get the workbook. But if you know that, hey, I need personalized feedback, I'm going to need to be able to watch these replays back. I want the pre-work to be best prepared for the challenge, and I want to learn how to secure my stages without having to do an additional investment, then you know you want the Power Move Pass. Wink, wink. You want the Power Move Pass. All right. So make sure you do that. Make sure you sign up. You can sign up at the very top right here by clicking join the challenge or at the bottom. I cannot wait to see you at the Sketch Your Signature Speech Challenge.